today start with another system that is responsible for maintaining coordination in our body, that is called as hormonal or the endocrine system. Together they have to be integrated, means in our body two systems are working together to keep all the life processes be functioning properly. These two systems are nervous system and hormonal system. The basic difference between these two, the nervous system, as we know, something which is very fast. Okay, so the effect is immediate. But in hormonal system, the effect compared to nervous system is a bit slow. But the first reason कि ज़रूरत क्यों पड़ी, why we required hormonal system in our body. Just like nerves are not able to reach each and every cell of our body. We wanted a second system which could reach every cell of our body. Okay, so if it is reaching every cell, so the action can be either a very fast action or a slow action. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to study that action in detail. अब ये भी कर रहा है control and coordination, nervous भी कर रहा है, hormonal भी कर रहा है. अब दोनों एक दूसरे को coordinated होने चाहिए so that they can be running smoothly. So together, who is maintaining the coordination among them? There is one structure called as, or a part of a brain which we call as hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the controlling unit which is making an integration between nervous system and the endocrine system, and together we can call that system as the neuroendocrine system. Now, as the name suggests, neuroendocrine. Neuro dealing with the nervous system, endocrine dealing with the hormonal system. This chapter deals with endocrine system. Now, endocrine system, we always associate the word hormones with endocrine system. Now, what do we understand by this term hormones? Hormones, as you all know, something like they are chemical messengers which are released by some organs. Since they are released or secreted, we call those organs as glands. Now, in our body, we are having basically two types of glands. They are exocrine glands and endocrine. The basic difference between exocrine and endocrine. Exocrine are the one which are having their own ducts, means उनकी खुद की pipeline है, so whatever they are producing, it is reaching at a particular place. But endocrine is something which is ductless. उनके पास खुद की pipeline नहीं है. They don't have their small tubes, so whatever they are producing, they have to release it somewhere. Where do they release? They release directly in our blood. Now this endocrine and exocrine, there is one more which we can say, जो इन दोनों का ही mixture है. So we can call those glands as mixed gland, because a part of it is functioning as exocrine, a part of it is functioning as endocrine. We call them mixed, or we also call them as heterocrine. So heterocrine glands are the one whose secretion involves both hormonal secretion as well as something else. That something else can be an enzyme or a gamete, anything. So example of heterocrine glands can be like our pancreas. Pancreas is secreting both pancreatic juice as well as pancreatic hormones. It can be our gonads also. Gonads are the one which is producing sex hormones as well as the gametes which are essential for fertilization. But we shall first do endocrine in detail. Endocrine, if they are only producing hormones, not any other thing, then such endocrine glands, we call them as holocrine glands. Earlier we had seen glands can also be classified as apocrine, merocrine and holocrine. So the endocrine glands which are secreting only hormones, we call them as holocrine glands. Now these glands in our body, the cells can be either collected at one particular place or it can be scattered throughout the body. Now where they are collected, according to that we can have different types of endocrine. From top to bottom if we go, we can list them as, every time we are hearing master gland. Who is that master gland? Pituitary gland. Something which is present in our brain. But pituitary is actually said to be the master gland, but pituitary को भी कोई और control करता है. Who is that controlling factor? The one which is maintaining a coordination between nervous system and endocrine system, whom we had seen, hypothalamus. So truly speaking, we should call hypothalamus as the master gland, but we don't call hypothalamus as the master gland because it is not a gland, it is a part of our brain. Okay, so master gland is pituitary gland. Then one more gland is there in our brain that we call as the pineal gland. Pituitary, pineal, थोड़ा और हम नीचे आते हैं. Then we have thyroid gland. Surrounding thyroid, parathyroid. Then we come in our thoracic or chest region. There is thymus. It goes further down. Then there is pancreas, which is a heterocrine gland. Okay. Then we go further down. That is something which is present above our kidney. We call them as the adrenal glands. And then the last localized endocrine glands we collectively call as gonads. Males में testis, female में ovary. So these endocrine glands are the one which is localized. Scale is scattered नहीं. But there are other endocrine glands where all the cells will not be involved in secretion. A part will be included. Them like liver can be said, which is producing a hormone. Heart is producing some hormone. Kidney is producing some hormone. So we are going to see role of all such endocrine glands, whether it is localized in one part or whether it is scattered. But before that, let us see which are the various characteristics of the hormone. What is hormones? Now we can say hormones are secretions produced by endocrine glands, released in blood because they are ductless. They are small chemical messengers which are non-nutrient. Non-nutrient means उसको break करो तो हमको energy नहीं मिलेगा. They are just involved in some metabolic activity of the cell of our body. Now chemical messenger. If I use the word chemical, means कुछ तो किसी का तो वो बना होगा. Now what it is made of? Either it is a polypeptide or it is a protein. Now what is the difference between polypeptide and protein? The same polypeptide, if it is longer enough, made up of multiple chain, complex form, then I call it as a protein. So here I will say, if it is less than 100 amino acid, I can use the word polypeptide or a peptide. If it is more than 100 amino acids, I will use the word protein, just to say that it is a bit more complex. If I add a carbohydrate group to it, then the same thing will become a glycoprotein. If I have, they can be in the form of amines also. Now what is amines? Amines has come from the word amino acids, means they are derivatives of amino acids. If I am using the word double A, that means amino acids. Or they can be steroids. Steroids are derivatives of cholesterol. So largely all our hormones are any of these type. Either they are polypeptide, or they are a protein, or they are a glycoprotein, or it is an amine, or it is a steroid. Here I am not giving you an example. As and when we are studying each hormone in detail, we shall categorize them. कि वो polypeptide है, protein है, glycoprotein है, amine है या cholesterol. Now this is the chemical nature. Now once the chemical messenger, that is my hormone, is produced, अब इस organ कितने quantity में बनाएगा, या तो cell कितने quantity में use करता है उसको, very less amount. It will be used, it will be required in a very less amount. तो ऐसा less amount तो हमको enzyme भी लगता है, right? When we are doing a chemical reaction, we also require enzyme. So what is the difference between hormone and enzyme? Both are though required in small amount. Enzymes are never used during a chemical reaction, but hormones get utilized. मतलब at the end of the reaction, you will no longer have them. Means hormone level go on decreasing. That's why it is indicative of diseases, various disorder. कि कब blood में hormone का level बढ़ जाए या तो कम. Now once they are released in the blood, they will reach a particular place. That place is called as the target organ, means somebody will be carrying it. Now this target organ can be its own cell, खुद के ऊपर ही काम कर रहा है, या तो अपने आजू बाजू के सेल पे काम कर रहा है, द नेबरिंग सेल, और सम other part of the body. So here, depending on the target organ, I can categorize the hormone as autocrine, paracrine, and we just call as general hormone. नाम से पता चलता है, ऑटो, ऑटो मीन्स सेल, जिसने बनाया उसी के ऊपर उसका काम. पैराक्राइन, सराउंडिंग सेल्स मीन्स आजू बाजू के सेल्स, नेबरिंग सेल्स. जनरल, जिसने बनाया बट कहीं और चला गया. मीन्स these two hormones can be functional in the gland before it is even released in the blood. क्योंकि आजू बाजू में ही काम कर रहा है, मतलब ये भी ब्लड में रिलीज होते हैं, बट दे कैन बी फंक्शनल इवन बिफोर दे आर रिलीज्ड इन द ब्लड. So depending on the target organ, we can have autocrine, paracrine, and general hormone. If I make a star here, star indicates that maximum hormones in our body are characterized as general hormone. Now, अभी टारगेट के पास पहुंच गया, पहुंच करके वो करेगा क्या? कुछ तो काम करना चाहिए. Either the hormone will go inside or it will stay there. Now, depending on its solubility in lipids, hormones are classified as lipophilic, lipophobic. This we shall do in detail when we are actually studying hormonal action. Lipophilic, as the word suggests, lipid loving. लिपिड से फोबिया हो गया, डर के भाग रहे. अभी ये लिपिड कहाँ पर है? व्हाट इज मेकिंग द लिपिड? बेसिकली देखो, टारगेट क्या होगा, कहीं पर भी किसी भी ऑर्गन में जाए, टारगेट इज सेल, राइट? तो सेल का जो मेम्ब्रेन है, मेम्ब्रेन इज लिपिड बाइलेयर. अगर हार्मोन इज लिपोफिलिक, मतलब लिपिड से प्यार करता है, तो व्हाट इट विल डू, इट कैन पास दैट लिपिड लेयर एंड कैन एंटर इनसाइड द सेल. बट इफ इट इज लिपोफोबिक, वो अंदर नहीं घुस सकता, बट उसको किसी तरीके से मेटाबॉलिज्म को रेगुलेट करना है. सो हियर इट गेट्स अटैच्ड टू सर्टेन स्पेशल प्रोटीन्स. I can say they are acting as receptors. Okay, so hormones can be classified as lipophilic and lipophobic. All steroids are soluble in lipids. तो वो क्या करते हैं, सीधा सेल के अंदर घुस जाते हैं और जो भी उनको काम करना है, मतलब मेटाबॉलिज्म, वो वहां पर करेंगे. But other proteins, जो बड़े बड़े hormones हैं, they cannot pass the cell membrane. तो वो क्या करते हैं, they get attached to the receptors and then they alter the function. अब यहाँ पर सिग्नल दे दिया उन्होंने कि क्या काम करना है, बट करते क्या है, what work they are doing. Every cell is involved in the basic life activity, that is metabolism. Metabolism means union of catabolism and anabolism. Okay, so that has to be maintained. अब हार्मोन जाकर के क्या करेगा, either it will stimulate the metabolic activity or inhibit the metabolic. Basically उसको इसको maintain रखना है, so that body का homeostasis बना रहे. So together nervous system and endocrine system is mainly maintaining the homeostasis of the body. Okay, so by joining all this, the complete definition of hormones can be summarized in one sentence. Hormones are chemical messengers produced by endocrine glands, released in blood. These chemical messengers can be polypeptides, proteins, glycoproteins, amines, or steroids. Once released in blood, they are reaching their target organ, and once reaching the target organ, depending on their nature, they either stimulate the metabolism of target organ or inhibit them. अब ज्यादा करोगे तो उसका क्या हो जाएगा, हाइपर एक्टिविटी हो जाएगी. दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट गुड फॉर द बॉडी. कम होगा तो it will be hypoactivity. That is also not good. So everything we have to study in detail in this particular chapter. So first we shall make a list of those endocrine glands so that we can have or read each one of them in detail. Can you guess which gland we should be starting first? Starting first, the master gland. That is called as the pituitary gland. Another another name for pituitary gland. You can also call it as hypophysis. Okay. Now, where is the location of pituitary gland? Pituitary gland is located. It is there in our brain. A brain में भी कहाँ? Brain में below the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus means our third ventricle. At the roof of the diencephalon, there is a cavity. इसको बहुत protection की ज़रूरत है. Because इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? Master gland. जैसे I am your master in the class, means I can control each one of you. Same manner, why this is called as the master? Because this is the one which is controlling all the other endocrine glands. I will not use the word all. Because कुछ ऐसे gland होते हैं which is not controlled by the pituitary gland. But majority of the glands are controlled by. But pituitary के भी ऊपर कौन बैठा है? Hypothalamus. We don't call hypothalamus as the master gland, but इससे भी superior है, तो we call it as the supreme commander. Okay, we shall see that later. पहले हम देखते हैं पिट्यूटरी. किसी भी ग्लैंड के बारे में पढ़ना है हमको, तो वी कैन मेक अ समरी. व्हाट वी कैन डू इन द क्लास, वी विल हैव अ डिटेल एक्सप्लेनेशन. यू कैन मेक द नोट्स एट होम. हाउ यू कैन समराइज? फर्स्ट कॉलम यू कैन मेक ऑफ द नेम ऑफ एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड. उसका नाम लिखो. पिट्यूटरी है कि थायराइड है, पैराथायराइड, व्हाटएवर. देन यू शुड राइट द origin. Origin means from which layer of the embryo it has been produced. Ectodermal है कि mesodermal है कि endodermal. After writing down the origin, then we can have the name of the hormone which is produced by that particular gland. It can be one hormone or it can be many hormones, whatever. Hormone के बारे में कर लिया. Then after that we need to know the, chemical nature of the hormone. Chemical nature हमने देख लिया ना. Any 5 of it, either protein, polypeptide, amine, glycoprotein or a steroid. Chemical nature के बाद we should be knowing कि what is its target. उसका target organ कौन है? After reaching the target organ, what it is doing? Means the functions. And lastly, we should know the disorders associated. These disorders can be categorized as hypoactivity or hyperactivity. Means if you are clear with these limited concepts, now your chapter is prepared. What you should be knowing: the name of the endocrine gland, its origin, hormone, chemical nature, target organ, functions, disorders, that is hypoactivity and hyperactivity. So I will not be wasting time just dictating everything or writing everything. We will have an explanation here. You will concise it at home. That will be just an assignment for you. So let us start with our first in detail. That is pituitary gland. Let us first see the location of pituitary gland. As I have already told you, pituitary gland is located below the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus खुद it itself is produced or is present at the roof of the diencephalon, which is surrounding the third ventricle. Now, pituitary का खुद का अगर हमने structure देखा, I will draw something like this. Every time we say that pituitary is like a pea means like a banana. Like, okay, it's very small, approximately 1 centimeter in diameter, और उसका weight भी बहुत कम होता है, 0.5 grams only. Just imagine, इतना छोटा है but काम बहुत बड़ा है. Okay, now this is just a pea-shaped organ present below the hypothalamus, but this is only one part of the pituitary gland. Other part of the pituitary gland is completely nervous in nature. Nervous in nature means ये भी nervous है, तो कुछ ये ही extend होकर के नीचे आया होगा. So what has come? Over here, so here I can have a cleft or a partition which is separating these two parts. This more prominent part of the pituitary gland we call as the anterior lobe or adenohypophysis. This makes approximately 75% part of the pituitary, यानी कि major part. The remaining part, you call it, ये anterior है, तो ये उसका पीछे का posterior part. This is called as neurophysis. Neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis, can I say it is just the extension of my, this part is hypothalamus. तो जो hypothalamus का origin है, same origin of neurohypophysis, means it will be neural in nature, and neurons are come from the ectoderm part, so I can say it is ectodermal in nature. But ये part थोड़ा अलग है, इसका shape थोड़ा सा modify कर देते हैं, so that it shows that this part is actually surrounding this part. Okay. Now, the characteristic feature one very unique characteristic of pituitary gland lies its in dual origin. Dual means दो parts से वो produce होता है, and we can easily guess adenohypophysis कहीं और से आया है, neurohypophysis कहीं और से आया है. Neurohypophysis, which you have already told me, neurohypophysis, since it is an extension of hypothalamus, I can say it is ectodermal in nature. Now, what about adenohypophysis? That too is ectodermal, but it is actually produced from the stomodium of the foregut. Now you will ask me, what is stomodium? Stomodium means the mouth. Okay, actually the foregut has two exact opposite endings. One is the stomodium, from where the mouth will be produced, and one from where the anus will be produced. The stomodial end produces the adenohypophysis. So during the embryonic stage, there is an extension being produced, or a pouch-like structure being produced. That pouch is called as the Rathke's pouch. So I can say adenohypophysis is produced from the Rathke's pouch, which is actually the stomodium of the foregut, and neurohypophysis is also ectodermal in nature. So I can together say they are having, or in pituitary gland is having a dual origin. Now let us see each and every part. Now since this is 75%, I can say the remaining 25% approximately is neurohypophysis. But there is a cleft between them. Cleft means just a partition. Okay, this partition I can call as the intermediate lobe, which is of very less importance in us, like in humans. Mammals में इसका इतना कुछ function नहीं है. It is just considered as a part of adenohypophysis. This adenohypophysis major part is divided into three parts. First, a part, this is called as pars tuberalis. Now why tuberalis? Because it is appearing like a collar surrounding this tube-like structure. This tube-like structure, I can say it is a part of neurohypophysis only. This tube, I can also say it as a connection between hypothalamus and the entire pituitary gland. So I can call it as a stalk of pituitary gland. So this is called pituitary का दूसरा नाम hypophysis. So I can call it as hypophyseal stalk, or it is also called as infundibular. So this part of anterior lobe is surrounding this, so we call it part tuberalis as a tube. The major part which is present at a very distal end, distal means far, so you call it as pars distalis. अब बोलिए कौन सा part में? This majority of part you can say is pars distalis, and this very non-prominent part, a very less part, which earlier used to be called as intermediate lobe, we now call it as pars intermedia. So I can say anterior lobe comprises of three parts. First, pars tuberalis, second, pars distalis, and third is pars intermedia. तीनों का function क्या होगा? Secretion of hormones, because they are involved in it's a type of endocrine gland. Now let us come to neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis is also divided into three parts. A part from where it is like just an emergence of hypothalamus. This is called as median eminence. Okay, so I I can say this is the fourth part, which is actually the first part of neurohypophysis. Next, I can say fifth, that is the infundibulum or hypophyseal stalk, and this major part, which is nervous in nature, so we call it as pars nervus. So all together, पहले से दो पार्ट थे, अभी छोटे छोटे 6 पार्ट्स मिल गए हमको, राइट? Pars tuberculis, pars distalis, pars intermedia, and the remaining part of neurohypophysis, median eminence, infundibular, and the other part pars nervus. अब इनमें से मेजर कौन है? As you can see, I make a star here. Pars distalis and pars nervus. Because सबसे ज़्यादा जगह वही है, तो सबसे ज़्यादा फंक्शन वही करते हैं. Okay, so this is the major. Now, if they are functional, so they should be having secretion. उनका काम ही है secretion. So they should be having secretory cells, certain cells, special secretory cells. But this part, since it is an extension of hypothalamus, ये part में कोई भी hormone बनते नहीं. It is only the hormones of hypothalamus, which is secreted by hypothalamus, is stored over here. और hypothalamus का nature क्या है? It is a part of the brain, so it should be made up of grey matter and white matter. मतलब neurons होंगे इसके पास. Now there are certain special neurons. If they are involved in secretion, means they are not involved in conduction or transmission of impulses. So we don't call them actual neurons. They are the type of glial cell. Such special glial cells are present. Means modified neuron. You call them as neurosecretory cells. So such neurosecretory cells are present in the hypothalamus. So if I just draw a neurosecretory cell, this is just the cytons of it. Okay. What this will have? इसमें से क्या निकलेगा उसका? लंबा लंबा. हमेशा न्यूरॉन्स का क्या होता है? Axons. So here I have just drawn 3, but there are many, which is actually the supraoptic nuclei. Okay. Those neurosecretory cells, सभी के axons इधर आ गए. तो can I say in short, my infundibulum is nothing but a bundle of axons, okay, which is involved in transmitting or conducting the hormones which are produced here. अब ये specially neurons के hormones हैं, तो I can call these hormones as neurohormones, which has to be come and collected over here. अगर यहाँ इसको कलेक्ट होना है तो एक्सॉन का एंड ना थोड़ा सा swollen. We had seen in nervous system the swollen end of the axon we call as the axon terminal. But here, though it is the terminal of axon, we call it by another name because its function is different. We call them as the Hering body after the person who had first discovered. So the role of this Hering body will be what? If I may dot something over here, that shows the hormones of hypothalamus are just temporarily stored over here. Now, how many hormones? We shall study that in detail later. There are only 2 hormones which are produced and stored over here. Which are they? ADH. ADH, we had heard this word before. Antidiuretic hormone, also called as vasopressin, with respect to the chapter excretion and osmoregulation. And next is oxytocin, which is also called as a childbirth. तो वो आकर के हम यहाँ पर स्टोर करते हैं. अब the remaining part, it is not just the axon, but there will be some other cells which will be packing them. तो जो मैंने red dot से बनाया है, I can call them as the packing cells. These packing cells, since they are of the pituitary gland, we call them as pituocytes, cells of pituitary. But they are non-secretory in nature. उन्होंने तो नहीं बनाया हार्मोन, तो इनका काम क्या है? What they are doing? They are just involved in packing them. And ये जो hormones release होते हैं, they are in the proform. Proform means in an immature form. उनको बड़ा करना, to make them mature, to make them active. That can be the function of pituocytes. And whenever a signal is produced, these hormones will be released in the blood. But more or less आगे जाकर के जब हम पढ़ते हैं, they are mainly considered as hormones of neurohypophysis. Though we know कि it is not produced by neurohypophysis, it is produced by hypothalamus. But we should study them as hormones of posterior. अब बचा adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis is completely secretory. सेक्रेटरी मीन्स इसके पास तो काम करने वाले सेल्स चाहिए, यहाँ पर नहीं भी काम करता तो चले जाता था, बट हियर एक्चुअली वर्किंग सेल्स शुड बी प्रेजेंट, दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन आवर pars distalis. Let us see which are those cells. Call those cells as the secretory epithelial cells, which are called as chromophils. As the name suggests, chromophils, color film. Classified also as basophilic and basophilic or acidophilic, okay, depending on which stains they are get color. इसको और तरीके से भी हम क्लासिफाई कर सकते हैं, डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच हार्मोन दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग. वी शैल स्टडी दिस पार्ट इज रिलीजिंग 7 hormones, this part is releasing 2 hormones, so total I can say anterior pituitary, our pituitary gland is releasing 9 hormones. Now over here these 7 hormones belong to either they are gonadotropes, they are corticotropes, they are thyrotropes, they are somatotropes, they are lactotropes. अभी सभी में तुमने ये वर्ड देख लिया, trop, T-R-O-P-H, or you can say they are tropic. Means tropic hormone means whichever hormone name I write, I add to that a suffix tropic hormone. Either I write tropic hormone or I can also write the suffix. Now, which tropic hormones I write? First, STH. STH stands for somatotropic hormone. 50% of your chromophils are of this category. इसका दूसरा नाम तुमको मालूम होगा, तो मैं लिखूंगी GH, तो सबको मालूम है GH stands for growth hormone. Maximum chromophils are STH or growth hormone. See, I have written the word somatotropic hormone. तो इसको मैं दूसरा नाम क्या दे सकती हूँ? Somatotropin also आएगा. Second, if we say TSH, everyone has heard TSH. TSH stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. I can also call it as thyrotropic hormone, or I can call as thyrotropin. Then third, if I say third, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, okay, or I can say adrenocorticotropins. If you are seeing ना, every hormone is named after its target organ, कहाँ जाकर के वो काम कर रहा है. Next is PTH. PTH stands for prolactin. Okay, prolactin hormone over here, or I'll just write prolactin, or it is also called luteotropic hormone. Next, if I have gonadotropin, as the name suggests, gonadotropins means जिनका टारगेट क्या होगा? गोनाड्स होगा. There are 2 types, FSH and MH. And the last hormone. So यहाँ पर कितने हो गए? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let's consider them as separate. 6 and the 7, which is means very least important in humans, that is called as MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. But this is not produced by this chromophil. This is actually produced by pars intermedia. Okay, the pars intermedia is responsible for secretion of MSH. So clear? So what we have done? We have done the histology of pituitary gland. 2 special cells are there. इस part में याद रखो, काम करने वाले सेल means secretory cells are there. So these are non-secretory cells. The non-secretory cells are called as pituitary. The secretory cells are called as chromophils. Depending on कौन से stain से वो color हो जाते हैं, we are having basophilic or acidophilic, or you also call them as basophils. अब ये मत बोलना कि ये basophil वो double, that is also there in the blood, we say, because they are also get colored by the basic dye. The same over here, basophilic, or if it is they colored by acidic dye, acidophilic. But they can also be classified as depending on which hormone they are producing. ये मेरे cells नहीं है, ये मेरे hormones हैं. तो जो cell ये hormone बनाएगा, मैं उसको क्या बोला सकती हूँ? Somatotrophs. I can call them as thyrotrophs. I can call them as corticotrophs. I can call them as mammotrophs. और तुम उसको prolactin भी बोलो. Mammotrophs, and I can call them as gonadotrophs. Okay, so my chromophils can be depending on the type of target organ which they are going to. Clear? तो अभी हमको डिटेल में क्या करना है? All these 7 hormones of anterior lobe and the 2 hormones of posterior lobe. So together let us study